Hey everybody, this is Zach with Tanuki Games, and today we're taking a look at the original Max Payne. This was released in 2001, and I'm reviewing the original Xbox version. It was also released on PS2 and PC, and pretty much everything else. The original title in the series is one of the most distilled versions of Max Payne. It tells his origin story, which is his wife and child are murdered, and he sets out to avenge them. And this game is probably the darkest of the three games. It has the most intense feelings of doom and dread that surround Max. It is a lot more of a claustrophobic tale, whereas the other two games, Max seems to have kind of settled into being a caricature of himself, whereas this game really is just that dark and intense. The gameplay in Max Payne is spot on. The bullet time aspect of the game works very well. However, I do like the other control schemes that were used. I think that this game's control scheme can be a little bit confusing on a controller, but other than that, the game plays very, very well, and it's a very proficient shooter. The storytelling in Max Payne is probably the most interesting of the three games, and the game is probably the most original of the three games. There's a lot of different things going on with this noir tale. You have allusions to Norse mythology, which are pretty interesting. You also have these really intense cutscenes that are kind of covered in snow and darkness constantly. There are also these semi-puzzles that Max has that are him kind of hallucinating and hearing all these really horrible things. And it's just very intense. The game has a creepy vibe, and it also has this vibe that there really is no hope, which is a keystone to any noir tale. You can see how Max Payne is a product of its time. Whenever we look back at 2001 or those early aughts, they're really not that enjoyable of a time to look back on, and I think that this game really exemplifies what was great about the era in game development. It was a relatively small group of people who made the game, and it just feels very original and fresh, and the other two preceding games are very good, but this game especially has so distilled the vision that they had of mixing a John Woo style action movie with the storytelling elements of noir cinema. The original Max Payne is an absolute must play for any fan of third-person action games. You can find Max Payne very cheaply. I picked up my game for $1, and it's definitely worth your time to sit there and enjoy and to kind of see a time period where game development was not as big of a deal to put out a great product with a few select people with an exceptional vision. If you've played the original Max Payne, what are some memories you might have of it? If you haven't played the original Max Payne, how does it look to you? Any support you can give the channel is very much appreciated. A like, a comment, or subscribe. This is Zach with Tanuki Games. Thanks for watching. Enjoy!